Hey, we're getting ready to start a project here in Senoia, Georgia, which is in the historic part of Senoia. And before we even get this addition going, we want to point out a few things that if you're getting ready to do an addition on your house or you're thinking about doing a project, some things that kind of need to be talked about before you actually get your project started. When you're doing an addition or a remodel, it's not really like starting from scratch. We're having to take what's already here that was built in 1920 and then add on what the customer is wanting. So if we were doing a custom home or a spec home, we could come in here and start from a clean slate without having to worry about anything. But since we're not doing that, we're having to add on to this house and make it look like it was built like that back in 1920. So one of the very first things that we want to talk about is our drainage issues. And before I get too far into this, let me just take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Creighton. This is my partner, Nathan. We're the owners of OldPassHomeworks in Hogansville, Georgia. And we do custom homes, spec homes, remodeling, any type of construction that you can kind of think of. We've always liked watching YouTube, and we've learned a lot just from watching other people's videos. So we hope that somewhere along the line, that maybe in some of our videos, you guys might learn a thing or two, or at least like to watch some of the projects that we're working on. So as we go back to this one, we're going to start demoing it tomorrow. We're going to start back here with the back porch and get it all taken care of and knocked down. But if you can picture this, and this is one of the hardest things about any type of construction or project where nothing is there and you have to visualize what's going to be there. So this is the front door or front steps. Basically where I'm standing right here is the front steps. We're going to go this way with a 2-car garage, and then there's going to be a new master bath and a new master bedroom and a new deck and fireplace on the back side of the house. But right now, one of the first things that we noticed when we came out here to look at the job the first time is if this is the front door and we've got a roof pitch already here with no gutter, and I'm already standing downhill, you probably can't tell that I'm standing downhill from the camera, but once we walk into the backyard and look back up this way, you'll be able to see every single bit of water that's coming right now is coming to right where I'm standing. And it's running straight down through the backyard into the little art studio that we're going to be working on as well as we're doing this project. So we recognize that at the very beginning. So what we have to do is take care of all this drainage. Make sure it doesn't come right here on a brand new addition to these people's home. And then we have to do that without it being very noticeable, if that makes sense. And there's several different ways of doing it. But to be honest with you, that's probably one of the biggest concerns that we have whenever we're starting a project is taking care of the drainage and getting it done correctly. So I think I've kind of explained enough about the water issues. We're going to put a little video inside this video of what it actually looks like right here where I'm standing when it is raining or during a rainstorm. And you'll kind of see exactly what we're having to deal with. But it's up to me and Nathan to see that before we ever start on a project. Because if we were to just go ahead and build this thing, then we get down to the end of it and there's going to be water. It's going to be a swimming pool right here. We're going to get yelled at because we built a swimming pool at the people's front door. So now we're going to just kind of I'm going to let Nathan walk through the scope of work on this project, and we'll go through the gate here and just kind of walk through it.
So we're adding on roughly about 900 square feet to 1,000 square foot of heated space, and then another 900 square foot of 2-car garage and a golf cart garage on the rear. If you come through here, the front of the garage is going to be roughly about where we were standing earlier. It's going to go towards the property line, roughly about 30 feet. There will be removal of this deck is going to be necessary. There'll be a front door coming in here, and then the existing door coming from their mudroom will turn into a cased opening, walking into a sitting area and a half bath. There'll be a new laundry room. Right now they're utilizing a stackable washer and dryer that's more suited for like an apartment complex situation, not really a home. So they'll have a full-size washer dryer, a dog wash station, lots of cabinets, should be very nice. On the other side of that, there will be a deck with a nice fireplace, tongue groove ceiling, very nice. Then a master bedroom, large master bath. There'll be a wet bar in the master bedroom. It should be very nice. It'll come off the back of the house roughly about 35 feet to the back of the deck. It'll go flush across the rear. And everything is going to be designed so to where it will match the house without hopefully knowing that it's a new addition. We're going to be re-landscaping this entire backyard and adding a fence, and also reworking the old barn into an art studio. Creighton's going to start talking about the landscaping, pitching the water out through here in the backyard, and explain to you what all we're doing back here.
Okay, y'all can't see who's holding the camera, but our wonderful assistant May is holding the camera. So May, walk down here with me. When you're looking at, or when I'm looking at water issues or drainage issues, I always like to get down below what I'm looking at. So you can probably tell now that I'm walking downhill a little bit compared to where we were back up there. So we were standing right there by those stairs. Everything that's coming from up there is falling right to here, okay? So not only do we not want the water right by the front door, but if we're gonna be working on this little studio for these folks, I want to grade this in a way that the water does not get in our way. And if you can visualize in your head, this is about where the backside of our project is going to be. So all of this will be new zoysia, put new irrigation system in, new fence that Nathan mentioned. We'll put a lighting package out here. As Juan's doing the demo tomorrow on the deck, they're going to be scratching around over here with the loader and getting this area cleaned up over here. So all this will be brand new to accompany this brand new project that they're adding on to their house. As you can see, there's a crawl space right here. So our foundation is going to be at that level or close to it. So it'll still be a crawl space back here. As we go over to the garage, it'll start to level out with that grade right up there. We're going to bring in roughly, we don't really know yet, we're thinking 15, 20 loads of dirt to get over here in our garage, because we want to deal with the water, but we don't want to set the garage up so high that it creates a weird angle as you're coming into the garage. Sometimes when we're doing projects like this, the builders will leave the driveway in a manner that all the water is running to the back corner of the driveway. So if somebody calls us, if the builder leaves the house like that and somebody calls us and wants us to put a detached garage in or anything back here, we immediately we're in a hole already, if that makes sense. So all this water has to go somewhere. So if we were just to build the detached garage right here, the water's gonna run right into your garage, basically. So we have to pick that up a little bit. And if you pick it up too much, then it makes a transition like this. So I say all that to say it's up to us to take care of all this runoff that we know we're going to have coming off the roof. We're in talks with the homeowners to put gutters on the house. We don't know that we're going to get to do that. We hope we're able to put gutters on the house that'll help us with that runoff coming off the roof. We'll probably just pipe that around towards the truck and around the backside, and same thing with right at the front door. We'll put a downspout, hopefully hide it as best we can. We don't want a downspout right at the front door, but we may have to do it and run that water around the corner as well. I don't know if you can see that crushed slate that's over there. There's probably, I say half a tandem load of crushed slate sitting over there that we're gonna probably try to incorporate right over here in this area with a little patio and a fire pit possibly. And we'd also like to, and this is not in the plan that we've talked about, but at some point we're going to talk about making a pathway going to this new back porch, and maybe even to a door that's going to be on the back side of the garage. Tomorrow when we start the demo of the porch, we're also going to have the loader over here cleaning up all this brick, and we'll stack it up over there in case you want to use it at some other part in the project. They've got these nice big planters over here. They don't want them, so we're probably going to take those and use them somewhere else and do a little project with that. All this stuff like this will be trash. So all this right here will get regraded. That's the slate. Maybe you can see it a little bit better right here, but that's some of the slate that we're going to try to save. I don't know if you could tell what we were standing on at the beginning of the video, that's Indian rock up there. We definitely want to save as much of that as we can to use somewhere else in this project. And one thing we did not mention is when we come back and get the driveway like we want it, we're thinking about doing permeable pavers, at least for the parking area. So that will definitely help with some of the water issues that we talked about earlier, having that paver with the grass in it to catch some of that water. And also it'll be beautiful when we get done with it. Other than that, I think that's probably a pretty good synopsis of what we've got, unless you've got anything to add.
I think so. A little detail on what we're going to do here in the studio. Right now our vision for it is pretty much a glass front with a concrete floor in it. Talking with the homeowners about the possibility of a restroom, and if we do that, then that's going to bring up the obstacle of having to get the sewage from a lower level to a higher level at the sewer. So we'll have to likely have a pump down here to pump it up to the sewer. That would be optimal if we could do a restroom down here, so they can, you know, obviously have that for their parties and art studio as well. But overall, the project is pretty detailed and large. We're really excited about it, and excited about taking y'all through the construction process along with us, and hopefully getting to the finish line and see the finished product, and hopefully everybody will be happy with it and love it.
Yeah, before we go, like I said earlier, we don't know everything about this. Nathan's been doing this for a long time. I've been in the landscape business for a long time. I'm sure there's things that you guys are going to see that you would do different, but I hope along the way, as we get into more of these videos, that not only is it entertaining and you like to watch some of the stuff that we're doing, but maybe even learn a little bit. Like even if you had a contractor come out to your house and they go through their whole spiel, and you already know you've got water issues, you've got a river running through your yard at some point, hey, maybe ask them, say, hey, what do you think about this water and how can you take care of it? And that's just the start of it. As we get into this, you're gonna see me and him scratching our head trying to figure out, okay, we know this is gonna be an issue. We're not starting with a clean slate and doing everything the way we want to do it. We're having to match everything up to a house that was built in 1920, which for us, I mean, that's part of the challenge and it's fun. And obviously at the end of the day, the goal is to make that come together where what we put on this house looks like it was done back when the house was built, if that makes any sense. Because when we're done, that entire house is going to be painted new. It's going to look totally different than what it does right now.
So we're going to have obviously a crawl space here. We're going to do a footing and then a poured foundation for the crawl space walls to get this thing leveled up to where our floor system meets evenly with this floor system. Now where this triple window is going to be a set of French doors coming out onto the porch. The floor system will need to match up to the floor perfectly so that we don't have any kind of transition steps going in or out of the project. The entire crawl space will be bricked to try to match the older brick on the outside of this, and then painted to match as well. We're going to do an encapsulation with a dehumidifier underneath this crawl space to make sure that no allergies are affected. We have a sensitive homeowner that doesn't do well with that sort of stuff, so we're going to take every precaution we can to make sure that that's not going to be a challenge in her project, and hopefully her home for many more years.
I know we're on the back side of the lot, looking back towards the back of what we're going to build here. One of the most interesting things to me when you're starting a project, whether it be a construction project, landscape project, anything that you're adding new, is trying to visualize what it's going to look like on the last day when you get your CO or you get your last inspection, whatever. It's always neat to me to try to visualize what that's going to look like. If I knew enough about videos, I would have something we could stick up there and say, yeah, this is what it's going to look like when we're done. And we'll kind of go through, as we're doing these videos, we're going to show you the floor plan that'll give you the elevation on the back and the front. And I think that'll all start to draw together, especially once we get it framed. When we get it framed, it'll all start looking where you can make heads or tails out of it. But if you just look at it right now, these folks are going to have a brand new master bedroom, a brand new master bath, 2-car garage with a golf cart garage on the back side of that, and a new porch right over here. So we hope you guys might find something that we're doing here interesting. Follow along with all the new videos that we're putting out. We've done a bunch of shorts so far, just trying to put our feet in the water on this YouTube thing. Now we're going to start following these projects that we're doing, and we've got 2 or 3 more we're going to start. We've got a custom home we're going to be starting in a neighborhood down the road that we're going to be talking a whole nother video about water and what you need to be at least looking at and understanding if you're going to buy a lot to build a house on, and what those pitfalls can be without you even realizing it. So yeah, I hope you guys will come along with us as we go down this road of all these projects we're going to do, and hopefully you find something you like in all these videos.